Hey guys, welcome back to Man Interest 1-1. It's your boy Hellfish6, and we'll talk a little boxing again today. The big news came out this morning. Miguel Cotto has been stripped of the WBC middleweight championship belt. I gotta say, I'm extremely disappointed in Miguel Cotto. Apparently, he did not want to pay the $300,000 sanctioning fee to retain the WBC belt. It's it's a shame. He's going to get paid millions for this fight with Canelo, so I don't think it's about the money. Um, I think this is all coming down to avoiding fighting Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. Triple G was already paid. I'm not. It doesn't say exactly by who. I'm assuming it must have been by Cotto and sanctioned by the WBC. But he was already paid $800,000 as a step aside fee to allow this mega fight between Cotto and Canelo to even take place in the first place. So now I guess Cotto balked at having to pay another $300,000 for the sanctioning fee. And so you know what that means? That means if Cotto wins this fight anyway, he still does not become the WBC middleweight title holder. Yeah, people are going to say, he's still the lineal champion, but it really looks bad at this point. It really looks bad, and he gets to say, you know what? I don't have to fight 3G. I'm not the WBC champion. 3G picks up the belt because he's the mandatory, and it's going to probably default to him. Or there'll be some kind of title fight they're going to put together, but it won't be against the players or the fighters that we want to see him fight, which is either Cotto or Canelo. Um, so he could become the eventually down the line the undisputed middleweight champion, or the lineal champion. This is embarrassing. This really puts a sour flavor for what Cotto has accomplished. When he beat Sergio Martinez a couple of years ago in Madison Square Garden on Puerto Rican Day, I mean that was a big deal. It was a big deal. It was his fourth title in a fourth different weight class. Nobody thought he was going to be able to really go up to middleweight and win. They thought Sergio, being the bigger fighter, the left-handed fighter, the southpaw, the power puncher, was going to be too many problems for Cotto, and he dominated that fight. Yeah, it turns out that Sergio was a shot fighter, but I mean that's not Cotto's fault. He took the risk, and he made that fight happen, and he won. And I think that's what boxing fans. I know that's what I want to see. I want to see fighters take risks. I want to see them say, you know what, I'm going to try to go up another weight class, or I'm going to try to fight the best guys at my weight class. And ever since he did that, ever since he won, he took that year off. It was a BS fight against Gil. Now we got this fight against Canelo that was that's for the WBC belt, but it's at a catch weight. It's at a catch weight of 155. And on top of that, now he's not even going to have the WBC belt anyway. So if Canelo wins, he gets the belt. Um, but if Cotto wins, then Cotto just wins, and he gets, I guess, have bragging rights. I think he's doing this. Well, I know, it's obvious he's doing this to avoid a fight with 3G. That's the obvious thing. And then Canelo wins, he gets the WBC belt. The mandatory is 3G. What's Canelo gonna do? I don't think Canelo really cares about holding on to that title because he's already come out and said he's gonna force Gennady Golovkin to fight at 155 at a catch weight. Gennady Golovkin has already said that he's gonna refuse to do that, which I hope he sticks to his guns and doesn't drain to 155. And so Canelo's gonna have to give up the belt too. It's a really sad affair when you're seeing top tier fighters, supposedly the best fighters in the world, avoid fighting the competition, or avoid making the fights that people want to see. And that's what Oscar De La Hoya promotes. He's always saying, "I want to make fights that people want to see." And then you have your boy coming out there saying, I'm gonna make this guy, 3G drain to 155." So I think what they're doing, I think these fighters, what they're doing is they're taking a page out of Floyd Mayweather's playbook. They're saying, let's build up the fight. Don't rush the fight. Generate fan interest. That's what they did with the Manny Pacquiao Mayweather fight. They built up the interest for 5 years. They fought each other's opponents, and then it turned out to be, the biggest boxing fight, biggest pay-per-view fight of all time. And it's disappointing because, throughout all those years, you got fights that fans really don't want to see. In Canelo's case, it's such a BS excuse to say that he's not ready at 160. You got Oscar De La Hoya coming out in the news saying, that now that he's 25 years old, he's coming into his man weight, or his peak. And he's 160 7 days from the fight. He already was at 160, and 30 days from the fight, he was at 170. So he needed to drain himself. He still has another 5 in order to make the fight. So it's absolute nonsense to say that he can't fight at 160. He just, again, grabbing a page from Mayweather's book saying, hey, if I could get any advantage I can before entering the ring, I'm going to use it. And, if Canelo thinks if he wins this fight with Cotto that he can make Gennady Golovkin go down to 155 so he could get a weight advantage, then, he's going to do that. And it's sad. It's a sad state. Um, it really puts a damper on the prospects, I think, for these fights in 2016. I think Cotto's plan is, if he beats Canelo, he's probably going to look for a rematch with Floyd Mayweather. Um, especially if they're fighting at 155. Especially if they're fighting at 155, and Cotto's not going to have to worry about WBC sanctioning or anything like that. So I think he would try to make that rematch with Floyd. That gives Floyd a leg up in negotiating power over Manny Pacquiao in terms of them negotiating a rematch. Um, so a lot of politics going on. A lot of politics. I think 3G is going to be the odd guy left out. I don't think he's going to have a chair to sit on. Um, Cotto is going to find a way to make a good fight in the spring. I'm sure. I'm sure Canelo's going to be able to figure out the same way. And if worst comes to worst, if this is a good, entertaining fight, they'll do a rematch. Um, and then Floyd and Pacquiao do a rematch, and 2016 will be the year of rematch. And 3G gets a couple of some more no names to fight and knock out, and everybody avoids him for another year. So disappointing news. I'm really disappointed in my boy Cotto. I'm still going to watch the fight on Saturday, but I'm not buying it. I'm definitely not buying it. So, all right, this is Hellfish 6 signing off. Let me know what I could do to improve or make these videos better, and appreciate any feedback. Thanks. Bye.